Hello, ladies. My name is Dr. Donna Smith Bellinger, and it is my privilege to bring to you today the masterclass Sales is not about wait and see. Because, ladies, today's the day that we stop asking for permission to succeed. So, if you've been waiting for the perfect moment, I got news. That moment doesn't just pop in, it doesn't just come. You create it. And today we're going to talk about sales and not the sleazy kind, but the service driven kind. I've been doing this for a lot of large corporations for decades. I have worked with coaches, authors, executives, you name it, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. But today I want to bring it to you. Women who have either left corporate or are considering leaving corporate, but you know what? You're still kind of worried about it because, when you run out of friends and family, then what? So let's talk about what that looks like. First of all, you know what? Let's just have a truth bomb. You already know enough. You already have expertise. Your knowledge is valuable now. That's why they paid you or are still paying you. Less actually than you deserve, but it's because you are bringing value to the full organization. So consider this. Are you speaking in a way that gets heard, that gets seen, and that gets you paid? Because far too frequently as women, we don't own our own worth. We're sitting on gold, but we're whispering like we're made out of tin, like we're made out of paper, like we don't matter. And that simply cannot continue. Let's talk about what corporate did to us. Okay, the corporate thought process, you collaborate, you play nice, you stay small because you do what they tell you to do, no more, no less. A great speaker once said that we work just hard enough not to get fired, and they pay us just enough so that we don't quit. Well, that's kind of the corporate process. You are worth so much more than they are currently compensating you. But you don't really realize it because you've moved into what I call the land of settle. You're settling for what they give you, you're settling for the opportunities, you're settling. Now, if you are building your own business, now we're talking about positioning. Okay, so you're no longer waiting for your turn. You're no longer softening your words, and you're not being polite. And I have to tell you, because like I said, I've been doing this for decades. I've worked in a lot of male-dominated spaces, and I learned how to shout my value from the rooftops. I learned that when you make them enough money, the rest of it doesn't matter. Waiting doesn't build wealth. Now, corporate, rewarded you predictably. Entrepreneurship is going to require you to be present every single day. So if you're still pitching or offering the opportunity to work with you in a way that you used to hope for a promotion or an opportunity, you're not going to grow. So I want you to consider this your permission slip. I don't want you to water down what you need to do. I need you to claim the room. I need you to claim your value. And, we're going to get to this a little bit later, but I want you to claim the close, and answer that question, why choose you? Because nobody's going to come and hand you the pen. You're the author now. Write the terms, sign the deal, and stop apologizing for asking, because this is not a popularity contest. So if you're feeling stuck in your business, it's not about skill, it's about speech. Frequently, smart women stall because we think that our value should be obvious, or this is the other one that really makes me nuts. We were trained, raised to be providers, to be supporters, and to worry about what other people thought of us, right? That peer pressure, we want to be liked. That doesn't work when you're talking about your business. Consider who your partner may be at the time. And if they came to you and said, hey, you know what, honey, I had the opportunity to make 15, 20, 25, 30, $50,000 today, but I didn't want to push it because I thought they may not like me. Yeah, what would be your reaction? That's probably exactly what it is, right? So you want to make sure that you're not stalling because you're waiting for permission to be great. Clients don't want to guess. They want to be guided. You are the expert. They're paying you for your expertise. All right. And the speech solution, say what you do in one sentence when you are in a room. And remember that when you are networking, when you're speaking to a client, when you're in that space, say what it is that you solve, communicate your value, say who it's for, and then say what happens next. Because silence is not a strategy, and skill, well, you only get paid when you speak. One of my many introductions, and I've got a lot of them, depending upon the room that I'm in, is simply this. Hi, I'm Dr. Donna Smith Bellinger, and sales is my natural language. The people who hire me because they need to get more clients, sell more to their existing clients, and increase their flow of referrals. If one of these three is a challenge for you, let's have a conversation. Now, that was not sleazy, that was not icky, that was concise, to the point. They understand exactly what I do and the value that I bring. Can you do the same thing? I hope so. When we talk about your framework, speak, serve, sell, say who you help clearly. In my instance, I work with people who are in professional services. I do not do hospitality. I do not do retail. So what do you do? And what do you don't? Because that's very important to be clear. In real estate, do you work with first-time home buyers? Do you work with the elite? Are you working with commercial? Are you working with multi-million-dollar properties? Let them know what a good introduction is for you and what the value is that you bring. Explain the problems that you solve, as I did when I gave you my introduction. And of course, show that there is life after your solution. Because you don't have to do a hard close. What you need to do is connect. I tell my clients frequently that what you want to do is present and communicate your value in such a way that you're not saying, hey, do you want to buy this? What you're doing is saying, this is what I presented. This is where my clients have seen value. And this seems to be in alignment with the challenge you've described to me. And then you pause. Why? Because you want them to say, okay, how do I work with you? What's next? You don't want to try and force feed them into that type of a thing. So the next thing that happens frequently is, well, what do you say when they ghost you? You know, it happens. It's the same, you get ghosted. Okay, fine. Now what? So don't go into a spiral and don't reread or repost the same message over and over again, trying to figure out what you said, air quotes, wrong, because life happens. Clients get slammed. The dog gets sick. Their boss piled more work on them. There's family things going on. Perhaps there's a health issue, sunspots, whatever. So here's how you show up as a pro. Here's a possible script, something you might want to say. Hey, Mary, No pressure, but I just wanted to check in and see if now is still a good time to explore what we discussed. And it's totally fine if your timing has shifted, but when we spoke, you indicated to me that this is something that you've been challenged with for weeks, for months, for years. You know what the conversation was. Now, you are not chasing them, okay? You're checking in and with relevance. And so here's what you want to do. Um, I wanted to make sure that this is still a priority for you. And, recently I worked with a client who had a challenge similar to yours. This is what we were able to create. Is that type of result you're looking for? If it is, get back on my calendar. Let's have a conversation. That's it. You want to roll with calm confidence, not needy energy. You lead the follow up because they're going to follow your lead. So, when we talk about follow up that reconnects without chasing, here you go. First of all, make sure that you're always offering value first. And you're showing that proof of concept, those relevant success stories. On your website, hopefully you've got testimonials, or I have created a slogan, a trademark called Yes-Testimonials, because this is a recommendation that ends with what I call a money line, or the result, what they got out of working with you. I have over 44 recommendations on LinkedIn, and I'm not talking about, oh, I had such a good time listening to Donna's presentation. I'm talking about people who spoke clearly about the result that they received from working with me. I help them to retain a high net worth client. I help them to improve their closing rate. I help them to shift their introduction so that people are not now having to be chased, but they're coming up to my client and saying, hey, I really got what you were saying and I want to have a conversation. These are the types of comments that need to be in your testimonials or your recommendations. Secondly, create a connection, because this is all about their challenges, not your background, not the school you went to, the companies you've worked for, but what is it that you have delivered for others? Because they want you to make the pain stop. They want you to give them the solution to their challenge. That's what's important, not all of that other stuff, because you don't want to be social media rich and revenue poor. You want to solve their challenges and suggesting the next step. Where do they go from here? Never end a meeting, a discovery call, a conversation without having a clear next step identified. Oh, okay, so now is not a really good time. I understand that completely. What would work for you? Oh, you need to talk after you come back from vacation, after the graduations are over with, after the wedding. Wonderful. Let's put something on the calendar right now. When would be a good time for me to reach out to you again? 30 days, 60 days, 2 weeks, 24 hours? Put the appointment on the calendar. Get their commitment, because remember, you are a business owner. You are in business for yourself, no matter who writes the check. Run these conversations like the business owner that you are. One of the things that I have here, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, one of my clients, I was able to double my sales within a month. And now I'm working with more confidence and a focused message that allows my clients to decide that I am the best fit for them. Do you want to know how we created that? That's how you create that next step. Don't ask for permission. Show them your value. Ask for the close like a leader. You're in business for yourself, regardless to who writes the check. Speak with certainty, confidence on your value. One of the things I used to give away a lot in my presentations was a wristband that said, you must consistently communicate your confidence. Okay? You want to do that. You want to offer options. Give them a choice between two positive actions. Most of you have perhaps a low, a medium, and a high offer. Okay, the low is the person who says, I have zero budget. Okay, terrific. Follow me on social media, pick up my lead magnet, reach out to me when you're ready to take the next step, and you run with that. That's your low. Your medium, that's where they're going to make some type of an investment to work with you, a commitment, whether it's to attend a masterclass or whether it's to invest in additional training with you. And of course, your higher offer is for your VIPs. Make sure that you're always setting a timeline. And if you're worried about, well, do I sound too pushy if I set a timeline? Consider this. Well, Mary, John, whomever, I'm trying to fit you into my upcoming schedule. I don't have a lot of room right now, but I know that this is very vital to you, and I want to fit you in because I know you needed to make this money, make this change a month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago. I want to help you. Let's get you on my calendar in the next, what, week, 2 weeks, month. Come on, nail it down and remind them that this is time that you're holding sacred for them. You're a business owner. Make sure that you get the commitment. Always know what the next step is. If you receive an objection, I got to share with you that at one point in time, I was doing things for universities. I'm out of Chicago, and I was working with studies. I also worked with the US Census. Do you know what they decided my specialty was? And I was like, oh, there's words for that. Terrific. They called it refusal conversion. When people would say, I'm not giving you the information, I'm not going forward with this. No, 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 no. I decided that what that really was is refusal aversion, making sure that you're able to not talk yourself into a corner and reframing the conversation. So make sure that you're connecting the investment to the conversation. Oh, wow, Mary, you've been sick for a while? I'm so sorry to hear that. How much time are you losing from work? How much are you having to invest in copays? How many medications are you taking? Come on, let's get into that. Don't be afraid to put a number to those things because the investment they make with you will far outweigh the challenge that they're currently experiencing. Answer the question beyond the question. Don't be afraid to probe. And I have a special thing that I do with all of my clients on pre-qualification that shows you how to probe and ask these questions without being pushy, sleazy, or any of those other things that make you uncomfortable. And listen deeply. Okay, so that you're saying things like, well, John, that is a common concern. Let's unpack that together and see what's underneath it. Let's see what is really causing this challenge. Because objections are really just signals that their brain needs more clarity. That's all it is. So meet them in that space with clarity, with curiosity, with calm, and then with evidence, those stories that you have. Okay? Don't dodge it, don't duck it, dance with it. Remember to map their journey. Okay, well, if we work together, it's going to take this number of days, this type of an investment. We're going to shift here, here, and here, and make sure that you remember to lead with confidence because they're paying you to be the expert. You're just leading them into this. So let's get it straight. Closing isn't about convincing. It's about confirming. You've shown them the value. You've heard their goals. The only thing left is leadership. When it's time to close, please don't default to hope or hesitation. Maybe they'll say yes. Maybe I need to lower my price. No, You're not demanding a decision. You're making it easy for them to say yes. Mary, based on everything we've talked about, it sounds like this would solve what's been slowing you down. Do you want to get started this week, or would next week be better? That's all there is to it. Okay? So if today something woke up in you, consider joining me in my Revenue Reset Masterclass in 30 days. We're going to create something new for you. Most of my clients see a 5x return. I'm only taking 12 people. Why? I'm not trying to save the world. I'll just say it right then and there. I am not trying to save the world. So what do you get? Well, this is where clarity meets confidence, and where women get a chance to stop waiting and start building. And it's on your terms. I'm not going to force you into my business model. I want to help you clarify yours. In addition to that, you're going to have a few bonuses. One of them will be a one-on-one conversation with me, because that's how we level set where I need to help direct you. Again, this is about you. It's not about me. And we're also going to give you a course that I typically don't offer outside of my private clients. And that is, why doesn't anybody understand me? How to communicate across gender, generation, and geography. You're also going to learn about your perfect pitch and why it may be falling flat, and how to shift your conversation. So I invite you to take action now. Use this QR code. Schedule a call with me. Allow me to help you explore what's possible, so that we can indeed create the business that you have dreamed of. Because I'm telling you, if you're still in corporate, I need you to understand this. Work is what you do to finance who you want to become, and through that, who you choose to serve. Because the truth is, no one ever wanted to kill themselves to make somebody else's dream come true. I'm Dr. Donna Smith Bellinger, and I thank you so much for joining me today. And I look forward to having another conversation with you. Have a great day.